first time here, so I was gonna ask you, like, anything I should know? Are there any inside jokes about Harrisonburg? Somebody told me about there's like a dog smell. Somebody told me about. You guys know about this? No.
Did you say a dog smell?
Yeah, like there's
a little bit over here by you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's all about.
I'm sure you know that the Buc-ee's just got in.
Yes. Okay.
Just got Buc-ee's. That's been created a lot of buzz in this area.
Okay. This is my first time actually in Harrisonburg. This is the first time ever. And so I was trying to get some tips from some people around what is this region really all about? And somebody told me about a dog smell. I don't know, I didn't smell it. I don't know why. And I'm actually really excited that everyone is here and not at Buc-ee's because, you know, that I know that lineup is crazy right now. But no, I'm super excited to be here today talking to you about my favorite subject around innovation and AI. And I thought I would start with this. You know, today is actually the 30-year anniversary for a movie that came out by Sandra Bullock. It was called The Net, and it came out 30 years ago. And there was an iconic moment in that film where she actually ordered a pizza online. Now that was an iconic moment, and by the way, I really enjoyed the UI because this looked like it was done by a 5-year-old or the federal government. I don't know, but it was remarkable. And in 1995, after this came out, people were amazed that you could order something from the net and have it delivered to your house. They were shocked that this could happen. And of course, we know today, of course, you can do that. In fact, not only can you do that, but you can also get a robot to deliver the pizza to you. Uber Eats is rolling this out across different cities. I like YouTube with the comments around this. I like this comment from this guy, says, "Gone in a minute in the hood." And you know, it got me thinking, you know, this was 30 years ago, and we were so amazed that we could get this done by the internet. And think about today in 2025, what will we say in 30, 20, in 10 years' time, which would have sounded so crazy today? Maybe it's the idea that AI agents can run an entire organization by itself. Or maybe the idea that you can have a one-person, $1 billion organization. Or maybe Sydney Sweeney will be the president of the United States. I don't know. I heard she has great genes. I don't know why. You know, for me, AI is just not a productivity tool. It is actually helping us to reimagine how we look at work. It's helping us to reimagine our processes. You know, a couple weeks ago, another AI company called Perplexity, they came out with their own browser known as Comet. And this is very similar to your Google Chrome or your Safari browser. And they came up with their own standalone browser that's an agentic browser. And what it can do is it can literally watch what you are doing while you are on your browser. And it's an assistant that can help you, whether it's help you understand a YouTube video, help you with your flights, help you with your emails. So let me give you an example of this. Somebody from my speaking agency, they wanted me to remind me to bring some books for a speaking engagement that I have in September. And so now this is my default browser. So what I did was I just went to the assistant here on the left here, and I said, hey, remind me to bring 15 books for this keynote the day before. And you know, it just created a calendar entry in my own calendar. And so, you know, what's interesting is that you have an AI that's always on, that's 24/7, that's watching exactly what you are doing on the computer the entire time. And to me, Comet is actually a taste of what the future is gonna look like. A lot of people talk about the future of work. To me, the future of work is co-presence. The ability for an AI to be always on 24/7, that's watching you, that's helping you the entire time. And at some point it is going to be blasphemous to not have an AI right beside you. Just like if you went to work without a computer, you'd be like, what are you doing? The same thing will happen with AI. You know, and I think one of the deepest implications when it comes to AI is that anything that is digital today will be replicated and reinvented by AI. Anything that is digital, an app, a website, and a video can be replicated and reinvented by AI. Let me show you an example of this. Anybody here from Genzabar, by the way? Right here? Okay, you guys are up there too. Okay, fantastic. Whole team up there. So what I want to do for you guys is I went to your YouTube channel and I grabbed one of the videos from your YouTube channel. Actually, it's the first video. And it's an explainer of Sonus 2025. And what was cool about this video is that you guys had like this, you had this like grocery store aesthetic for your software. Actually, I'm gonna show everyone the actual video. This is the greatest sponsorship, by the way, you've ever had, okay? I'm gonna show you a portion of that video, by the way, and this was the video.
Genzabar Sonus 2025 is here, and we've got great things in store for you. Let's go inside and see what's new. We're unpacking loads of new features and updates for you. Don't worry, they're bubble wrap.
All right, by the way, VBK sponsorship for next year is open too, by the way. You can, so that was the video. And I thought, listen, I wanna help you guys out for a second. I wanna remake this video leveraging some of those text-to-video tools, Google VO3, Midjourney, Runway, all these tools that are coming out to build something that is more live action that can help you out. So this is what we built for you guys.
Genzabar Sonus 2025 is here, and we've got great things in store for you. Let's go inside and see what's new. We're unpacking loads of new features and updates for you.
Don't worry, they're bubble wrapped.
The first change you'll notice when you log in and select a student is our Add Replace module status model. Our developers have been working hard behind the scenes to make the Sonus system easier to use. They've redesigned the profile and master profile utilities.
Now that we've told you about all the changes in Sonus 2025, we know you can't wait to check it out.
You know, the ability to create compelling images and videos and animations is now becoming completely democratized. And by the end of this year, I have no idea where we're gonna get to, where maybe even filmmakers are gonna be able to create their own, you know, amateur filmmakers will be able to create Hollywood-level films. You know, it's interesting, I made my own a film a couple of weeks ago, a short film, and I put it out on the internet.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your host, TJ Shawn.
I can tell you that the buzz in this room is absolutely electric. Tonight, 60 women and families will have a chance to choose from 352 eligible bachelors from across the globe. Let me introduce you to our experts around the table. As always, we have Sam and Pooja. Now, Sam, you were a former #1 draft pick. What's going through the minds of these bachelors?
Well, TJ, this draft tonight is about perception. We all know Ricky Patel, who's also in this draft tonight. He has a good family, fair complexion, but it was recently discovered that he's not 5'8", but 5'6", and his stock has dropped considerably.
Oh, let's head over to the stage where the Kumars will be announcing the first pick.
We are proud to announce that the first pick at the 2025 Arranged Marriage Draft will be Jay Puri.
TJ, let's check out what the fans have to say.
Jay is honestly cringe. I saw his IG story this morning. Dude takes one pick in a suit and starts talking about success. It's like, dude, you're getting arranged. She doesn't love you, bro.
Who are you worried about today?
Oh my God. I'm worried for anyone under 5'7" with no face card. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. There has been a trade. The Kumar family and Joshi family have agreed to a trade. The Kumar family is trading Jay Puri to the Joshis for a 2014 Toyota Corolla.
What are your thoughts on the trade?
The trauma of being traded for a Corolla is unthinkable. Nasty, nasty work.
A filmmaker reached out to me. He said, oh my God, like, your film inspired me because now when we make a new movie, what we're gonna do is, instead of just having the script written out, we're gonna prompt the entire movie so that the entire team can see what our vision is. Because when the team sees the movie from an end-to-end perspective, they can not only see our vision 1,000 times more clearly, but it becomes 1,000x less expensive. And to me, that is actually reimagining how we look at work. You know, it's interesting, last week, Microsoft came out with this interesting study that documented the 40 jobs that are at most risk when it comes to AI, and it was revealed that this was the list, which was number 1, interpreters and translators, historians, and then I saw writers and authors, and I thought to myself, wait, that is me. And then I saw that they also revealed the job with the least risk to AI. Does anybody know what this might be? Plumbers? No? Okay. Are you a plumber? I don't know. I just... it was a dredge operator. To be honest with you, I had no idea what that was. So then I went on YouTube, and then I became an expert on dredge operators. And then I found this really cool guy. His name is Donnie McCoy, and he was a dredge operator. And I knew immediately that AI would never take his job because he was using a pencil and paper, and this man was safe. I don't think the computer even hit him yet, okay? This man was safe. Paradoxically, you know, if you want to be a historian or you want to be a writer or an author, because AI is going to be so much better at these tools, becoming an extraordinary historian, becoming an extraordinary author is actually going to become an incredible job. That's where you're going to get paid handsomely. But you know, I hate these reports and I hate these publications because I know this to be true when it comes to this technology and every single technology that we've ever seen, is that this is going to create jobs, this is going to create industries that we can't even imagine. And I think instead of asking the question, will robots take our job? I think the question that we should be asking is, what can we build today? What can we create? A more accurate statement is that AI allows you to do any job. What happens when a marketer becomes an engineer? When a chef can be a coder? When a designer can be an accountant? When a mother can be a doctor? When a child can be a teacher? What happens? You can almost do any job. There's incredible opportunities and industries that are created. And the problem is that we're uncomfortable with that uncertainty. We are uncomfortable with not knowing what industries will be created in the future. And so we have to be okay with embracing the darkness, embracing the uncertainty that there will be new industries created, because that's what's always happened throughout human history. You know, when the internet came out, there probably was a guy just like me saying, hey, this is going to change everything. We should probably build some skills and understanding of where this thing is going to go. And of course, the internet changed everything. This is going to be 1,000x what the internet was all about. Because this is about creating value, and everyone has access to it. It's the easiest technology to pick up. You know, it's interesting. A number of months ago, I was in North Carolina. I was speaking to this manufacturing company owner. And he said, hey, man, I really loved your presentation, but listen, before this AI thing hits, I'm going to retire. And I said to him, actually, this is the worst time for you to retire. This is actually the time that you can add the most value to your organization today. I just want to ask in this room, like, how many people you have been in your particular industry for more than 20 years? Clap. Wow. 30 years, clap. Okay. 40 years, clap. Wow. Okay. 50 years, clap. Okay, who is that, by the way? Raise your hand, by the way. Who is that? Oh, sorry, over there. Okay, do we have 60 years? No, 50 years. Round of applause, 50 years, that's amazing. What? What industry are you in? Philanthropy. 50 years you've been giving, you've been just giving. Well, God bless you. God bless you. That's incredible. And you know what? Being 40, 50 years within a particular industry, you understand the challenges. You understand all the issues within that particular industry, sponsorship and donations and allocation of funding and all that. Like, you understand this industry deeply. And the reason why I believe that this AI revolution is for the experts is because for the first time in human history, now you have somebody that is technical, that can actually get stuff done and solve those issues that's been nagging at you for decades. Now you have a technical co-founder beside you that's on 24/7 that can help you out. And AI works best when you have problems. And my belief is that the people that are deeply entrenched in their particular industries, they understand those issues incredibly well. So if you're thinking about retiring or you're at the end of your tenure at your organization, this is the greatest time for you to add value, because this era is really for the experts. Now, if you are young and you're just graduated and you're trying to figure out how do you make a dent in your career and your organization, my advice is this, is to run and find the oldest people in the room, okay? A lot of people talk about this idea of reskilling with AI. We need to reskill with AI. I don't believe that we need to just reskill. I believe that we need to fundamentally unlearn how we become successful. We need to disrupt, we need to reimagine how we look at work. The industrial mindset of how we look at the world is over. It is over. AI is about to disrupt every job, every career, every company, and every industry. You know, there's a quote attributed to Henry Ford where he says, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said they wanted faster horses. And if I ask leaders today what they want from their people, they would say, well, I want more productive people. But Henry Ford didn't listen to his customers, and he reimagined what transportation fundamentally looked like. And my challenge to you today is, are you willing to be bold enough to get rid of the horse and to reimagine what the future might look like? And in order to do that, you have to be able to disrupt yourself. Here's one thing, a tactic that I've used with my clients to disrupt themselves. This is adopting a zero principle mindset. It's by thinking, let's say we started our process, take any process within your organization. Started from zero today, knowing everything that you know about AI and all these agentic tools that are coming out. How would you restart that? How would you reimagine? What would you eliminate? What would you automate? What actually requires more humanity? When you start with zero, not only do you get a 10x improvement, but you fundamentally reimagine how you look at that process. This is one way of disrupting yourself. I'm going to leave you with one last story. And I'm telling you this story because yesterday was my 15-year anniversary to my wife, Deepa. Thank you. And it got me thinking about the only original idea that I had in my life. This is how I was going to propose to my wife. Okay, so this was my idea for my proposal. About 17 years ago, I was going to rent out a movie theater. And I was going to remake a movie. I was going to invite all my family and my friends and her family and her friends, and I was going to remake this movie called I Am Legend. Have you heard of this movie, by the way? Okay, so one person, it's okay. It's, this is pre-Will Smith slap, by the way, so it's okay, all right? We can let it go now. So I remade this movie called I Am Legend. And the idea was that she would be sitting right beside me, and then after the movie was done, I would propose to her right there and then. I thought this was such a unique idea, okay? So I'm going to show you the movie, but I'm not going to show you the entire movie, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But this is essentially what happened in that movie theater about 17 years ago.
Will you marry me? Oh. Will you marry me?
Thank you for your applause. I appreciate that. She was like, of course, she did say yes. You know, after this was done, you know what she said? You know what you should do, Shawn? You should take this video and then put it on YouTube. And then you should send it to Ellen DeGeneres, because then she'll have us on. And then she'll give us a whole bunch of stuff, like a honeymoon. And you know, I was feeling really skeptical of this idea because, you know, I don't want to put myself on the internet, you know, especially in this context. You know, I'm a student of the internet. You know, once you put something like this on the internet, people they make remixes or they make a meme out of it, like, you know, something like this, like, me watching this dude propose to his girlfriend in a movie theater. So I didn't put it up. But literally a year later, after I proposed to my wife in a movie theater, this happened.
Speaking of creative, I don't know if anybody saw this on YouTube. It's going around like crazy. I think there's 13 million views on YouTube already. He put this whole movie trailer together, got his girlfriend to go to the movies, and he proposed to her at the theater through this entire movie. And coming here and sharing your story with us, a movie phone is going to give you $100 gift card, so you can go. And then to watch them on, we're going to give you an entertainment center. We'll walk over here to see a Vizio entertainment center. You see all that right there that's playing on there? How beautiful and clear the picture is? Yeah, that would be nice to be there. So our friends at Hilton Hotels and Resorts are sending you on an all-inclusive honeymoon at Montego Bay, Jamaica.
My wife is still pissed off to this day about this. And by the way, I did a last check on YouTube. You'll find 1,000 guys that have proposed to their girlfriends in movie theaters. They've taken this completely innovative idea and made it overdone overnight. And then in the AI revolution, I did a last check on ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, give me some really innovative ways of proposing to my girlfriend. And it came up with this: adventure map quest, skywriting surprise, seasonal maze proposal, underwater proposal, and a movie theater proposal! Impossible to come up with any original ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
My co-worker was not able to come.
Okay.
So she gave me your book.
Hi, how are you? Thank you, Shawn. Thank you.
That's amazing.
Shawn, thank you so much.
Like in your speech, exactly aligned with what you were
Wow,
doing.
that's amazing.
Amazing, really amazing.
And I enjoyed
the only dude in the room who raised my hand and said that I don't use ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
Your speech was inspiring.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. Andrea, very nice to meet you.
I just finished a career in teaching.
Okay.
And also have a small business, and so I feel like my dad is here and is about to retire, and so you like
everybody
wow.
Okay.
Like do it scared, and
nice.
then also like you have a wealth of information. So
that's amazing.
Thank you for.
We had a question over in the back, I think. You want to go there?
Yeah. So I'm always kind of curious about the environment when I was watching it. So when you were questioning AI in the background on the wall were two pictures that kind of looked like they had sound waves or something.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what those were.
And you know, I know Brad showed some use cases, and what I thought I would do too is I wanted to show you some really tactical things that you could do today. And first, I want to help some people in this room out. So just by cheering, who from this room is from the Bank of James? Okay, right over there. You guys got the best seats, by the way. And so what I wanted to do, I went to the bank's website, and I saw that you guys had some checking accounts, and you know, when you go on that little website, you can see the different checking accounts that you can have, but I wanted to make it more interactive based on my personal income, my personal interest. How can I get a checking account that really adheres to what I need? So what I wanted to do is create an interactive application that would help people decide what kind of checking account they could have. So the first thing that I did was I prompted the AI. I actually voice the context, and I let the AI come up with the prompt. I actually believe that the AI is going to come up with a better prompt than us. So let's not, I know we talk about prompting, just voice the context and ask it to create a prompt for you. So I'm going to show you my process and how I built this application for you guys, okay? So watch this. Create an AI prompt that will help me create an interactive application for the Bank of St. James, specifically for their personal checking accounts. As a user, I want to be able to clearly understand, based on my needs, what is the best personal checking account that I need. Create the application based on some of the best practices of financial institutions that you've seen. So what it does is it creates a prompt, and what I did was I took that prompt and I put it into a tool called Lovable. Now, Lovable is a tool where you can take any prompt and turn it into an application, a website, a software. And not only does it create the UI, not only does it create a design and the code, but it actually gives you and creates a website there and then. So this is the actual application that I built for Bank of the James. I don't know why I say St. James, but anyways, I went through this interview process, guys, and you will enjoy this. It goes through this entire process, and it gives me the actual checking account that I need. Now, Cardinal checking account is an actual account, right? Yes. Okay. So that and there's Jefferson account. So it actually went to your website. It took a look at all the checking accounts, and it built this interactive application. You guys can have that, by the way. That'll be $70,000. But no. I just. Yes. Yeah, so what I was trying to show in that particular video was that I was essentially voicing the prompt. And my belief is that when it comes to some of these large language models, they work best on context. And the more context that you can give them, the better. And so the voice waves were me actually just providing as much context as I can so that it could create its own prompt. So that's kind of my workflow with any sort of idea that I have. I go through this exercise of verbal diarrhea and give it as much context as possible. Then I asked it to create a prompt based on that verbal diarrhea. Then it creates the prompt, and then I go and say, okay, put this into a deep research function, or create an application for me. So that's sort of what I was doing, was the little wavy lines. Appreciate it. Well, yeah, I mean, this is the beautiful part about AI in the future, is that it's such a new space. And I, started the conversation at the beginning saying that, I'd love for you to disagree with me, because the space is so new that people are going to have different perspectives of how they do things, and it's going to be the Wild West. While he might do something very different from me, and that's okay. I mean, I'm not supposed to be right. I'm just providing one data point of how I do things, and it's not the gospel. So so I think you could take some ideas from him and from me and from others. Appreciate that. Yes, over there.
Hey, thank you so much. We were just having a wonderful conversation over there, and I thought it would be instructive to kind of share the conversation we were having about, a lot of the examples that you shared were around sort of this generative ideation sort of component, but also the discussion we were just having about, deterministic models and where you see big data kind of coming into AI.
Working with organizations last year, what they would have done is they would have built their own large language model internally, and then they would have created this very sophisticated system known as RAG. So RAG is retrieval augmented generation. So to use an analogy, what this large language model is doing in practice, it's taking a look at all the data that we've trained throughout human history, and then it's taking patterns from that data, and then when it's prompted, it's going through a process of inference. It's creating a unique output. But what RAG is that it allows you to give it basically another library of data that it can actually pull from. And that library would be your source data internally within your organization. So what's interesting over the last number of years is that organizations, in order to develop the generative AI capabilities internally, they went through that process. Now, I mean, this space is moving so quickly that these large language models are creating their own connectors. So now you can actually connect your existing database to existing platforms like HubSpot or your Dropbox or your Box or whatever it might be internally. And now you can actually query your existing databases. So I can do a deep research function on my Box files and have an understanding of what's happening there. And they're implementing that within the large language model as a source. So what this ultimately means is that at some point, my belief is that human beings are not going to be entering and manipulating databases or creating entries into databases, but in a sense, they're going to be prompting the large language model, then that will use an agent to go and retrieve that database. So for example, I need to access my CRM. Some organizations have a CRM. I believe a human being should not ever touch a CRM. That you just have voice, wow, somebody, you said, cheers. That you just voice your contacts and say, hey, I spoke with Susie Gardner from this company, she told me this context, and the large language model will go off and do the work and enter that into their CRM. And by the way, you can already do that. You can already do that today, but at some point, this is going to happen for most systems. And so that's what's exciting, I think, when it comes to large organizations, is that so much of our organizations are built on this, we've built roles around these systems. We've built our governance around these systems. Our organizational structures are around these systems when they should really be around problems within our organization.
Going back to the comment about friction, creating friction.
Yeah.
So what do you do with people that are in the workplace, or what is your thoughts about people in the workplace that are trying to create friction, but then you have another set of teammates that don't want to be part of friction?
My experience has always been around how do you move things forward within an organization, specifically when it comes to innovation. So that's moving things forward in new ways, bold ways. And my belief, and I think it's fitting that we are here today, I believe that the best way of moving things forward within an organization is to get more people drunk. People are clapping. So let me explain. I think part of the reason why it's so difficult to move things forward within an organization is that inherently whether it's a mistrust or a misunderstanding around certain people. And for some reason, over the last number of decades, is that because of digital, because of remote work, we've lost this human connection. And my belief is that the more time you spend with people, I'm talking about, spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours with people, not talking about work at all, you start to understand their vulnerabilities. You start to understand them at a deeper level. And what's remarkable when it comes to innovation is that it actually has nothing to do with technology. If you want to move forward with innovation within an organization, it's understanding people more deeply. And so if people in your organization can't embrace the idea of friction or whatever it might be, I'd say spend more time with them so you can align missions. The more that you can align a mission, the more that you're going to move things forward. I remember I was at a dinner and I remember there was somebody at the table. She was a CHRO. There was a CEO. She was trying to move something forward within the organization when it comes to a talent initiative. The CEO said, "Oh, we don't want to talk about that. That's not on our priority right now." And then she asked the question. She said, "What do you want to like? What's on your mind?" He's like, "Oh, we're talking about growth and innovation and all this stuff." And then he talked for like 45 minutes about something. And she said, "Well, how are you going to get there?" He said, "Well, we probably need some more, a different type of people and talent to get there." And then at that point, he realized that actually their missions aligned. And I think the more that we can do that and understand each other, we can move things forward. So the punchline is get more people drunk. So there you go. What's remarkable is our baseline expectations are always moving, right? So you show something really interesting to someone, and that becomes the new baseline, and then they see something else, and it's not as exciting. I equate it to when I was a kid in university. I watched Vince Carter because I'm Canadian. We love Vince Carter. He was a Toronto Raptor. And he was in the dunk competition in the 2000s. And he created one of the most spectacular series of dunks that any human has ever seen. It was just remarkable. I remember our entire friend group talking about these dunks for the entire year. We could not believe what we saw, right? This was back in the early 2000s. You flash forward to where we are today in 2025. Anybody doing anything unique will just be a scroll. A tap, a scroll. We see the craziest things every single day through a tap and a scroll. So for me, I think what I'm always impressed with is, I showed the comment, the browser. And just by using it, I was incredibly impressed because now this browser is using computer vision to watch everything that I'm doing. And it can watch a YouTube video and take the transcript from it. It can see my email and help me create a calendar. Like, that should be unbelievable. But for some reason, it's not. I think some of the coolest things that I've seen is really around the advancements with video, the text-to-video applications. Remarkable what we've been able to do. And the reason is because video was always supposed to be the hardest thing to recreate. Like, to get the physics and the motion and the voices and all sound together and to create something that compelling is remarkable. And I see people faked out all day long on video that they think is real, but it's not. And so I've been super impressed by the innovation in the text-to-video realm. I created that Genzabar video today, and it's funny because if I showed that 3 months ago, I think people would have lost their minds. But because the baseline keeps moving, it's not as incredible anymore. So yeah, that's what I'd say to that.
Cool.
Okay, we got one right back there. Last one, okay.
So obviously you've presented to a magnitude of different sizes, scopes, organizations.
Yes.
Coca-Cola is obviously a very large organization. Here there's probably many more that are much smaller in size and scope. Whether it be one person being the Titanic or an organization, which have you found to be more personally rewarding to turn, and then also more difficult, and what would you say to people trying to do one or the other?
Yeah, that's a great question. Wow. To me, the personal reward comes back to helping large organizations and helping their leaders disrupt themselves. The reason why that's more rewarding is because it's more challenging. It's so hard to do. You're in an organization that has bureaucracy, it has hierarchy, it has status, and to help those organizations and those leaders disrupt themselves has been incredibly rewarding and see the change. I remember going into an organization, and this was pre-AI, we were introducing this thing called robotic process automation, RPA. I remember going into the meeting with the CFO, and he literally kicked us out of the meeting because he said, how many people in our organization, or in our industry, are implementing RPA? At that point, this was like dumb bots. It's not even AI, smart AI. This is dumb bots. This is like Excel macro on steroids. He's like, how many? That's how I actually got into this whole space. He's like, how many people in the industry are doing this? And I said, actually none. He said, then why would I do this? And then it took another couple meetings to convince him that this could make an impact in his organization. This is a large energy organization, super old school. And if you know energy, God bless energy. They have been incredibly successful. All their leaders have become rich, fat, and lazy, and because they've been leveraging their past successes. So, to see the change in actually implementing this technology and see how they were able to adopt a new way of doing things and then get their teams to adopt new ways of doing things, and now they're going to different conferences and talking about what they're doing, and they're creating a culture of innovation. Like, that's rewarding, because you're taking someone that is at the peak of the mountain, they don't want to come down to go off and disrupt themselves. It's super, super rewarding. At the same time, I think what's incredible today is that one individual has so much more opportunities today in a solo business than ever before. The ability to leverage software, large language models, AI agents, media. I mean, it's incredible. The fact that you can have all these things at your fingertips is remarkable. I mean, the fact that you can take one video and there's a potential for 1,000, 100,000, 1 million people to see that just through one shot is the greatest lottery that I've ever heard. The fact that you can have an army of AI agents that can help you with your marketing is insane. So today, that's why I believe that one individual can make such a big impact. I believe that you can have a one-person, $1 billion business here in this region. And think about all the great things that can come out of that. Those people actually, giving back to the community. So both are inspiring to me. But personally, I love helping leaders disrupt themselves. I'm obsessed with this idea of status. Status is this idea that we get so romantic about our existing credentials, knowledge. We're so romantic about the things that gave us success. And it's so hard to remove the status. In fact, one of the greatest fears for human beings is not public speaking, it's not spiders, it's not whatever it might be, it's backsliding in status. It's actually disrupting yourself. And so that's what it means to disrupt yourself, is you have to be able to let go of your status, let go of your ego, and super rewarding to see people to be able to do that. So appreciate that.
Perfect. Everybody, let's give Shawn one more round.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Awesome.